Sup individuals, NGM here. We've been working on another RC project and I'm here to fill you in. So lighting is a very popular thing that RC enthusiasts place on their models to give an extra flair to the vehicle, give it some more character. And it's also a great way to get the vehicle so it's practical to drive it at nighttime. So I've always wanted to add lights to my RC car, but I actually never did, just because I wasn't fully satisfied with the way they looked. Even though the cars looked great from afar and it was definitely something that attracted a lot of attention, when it came up close, they didn't really look very good because most lights are essentially a LED that clamps onto the body shell and it doesn't really look like part of the vehicle. So it just looked like some lights sticking out of the body. So since there was no lighting solution available on the market that looked the way I wanted it to look, I decided, hey, I'm going to just try and come up with something myself that I would like. At this particular point in time, this is where I called up my friend Randy and said, hey, I want to create ultra-realistic looking lights for my Traxxas Rustler because that's what I have. So this is where pen came to paper and I started drawing out all the designs I wanted to see become reality on this particular car. From that point on, we started doing a bit of research onto lighting. We wanted to make sure that the lights did not strain the vehicle once it was in. We wanted to make sure that the lights were plug and play. They were practical solutions, something that could be replicable, and we just started looking into different materials, different designs, different colors, just to figure out what we wanted, pretty much. One of the first things that we had to deal with was matching the surface geometry of the body shell. As you know, a lot of RC body shells out there, it's not very simple geometry, it's a very complex geometry. So I had to figure out a way to get something close that would get lights that will match up and become flush with the body. So after some trial and error, we were able to devise a way that we could closely match up with the surface of the shell to make sure the lights look like a part of the body. At this particular point on, we were able to move forward with the design. So the next big thing that we had to deal with was packaging on the Rustler. Because the Rustler is such a small vehicle, there's very little room to work with. And we essentially needed to do a few iterations until we found something that would seem practical and would work properly. We also wanted to make sure it was easy to install and it would negate any kind of errors that the installer may come faced with. After that was wiring. We got the wiring working, and the readings from the car showed that it was not straining the system in any way. So after a while, things we eventually got a finished product that seemed to work pretty well. After that, we wanted to see how well it worked, so we put it on the vehicle and just started driving. We didn't see any signs of breakage or strain to the piece, so we were pretty pleased with how everything came out, and I'm pretty excited to now just see if we could move forward from there. So the lighting project for the Rustler was a successful one. There's still a lot of development and there's a lot of room for improvement, but the results were pretty good. The lights look better in person than we had expected. But yeah, it was a pretty fun project, and you know, for anybody out there who's also the creative type, I do encourage you to, you know, create pretty much.